Bad news, 50. No deposit.
Motherfucker.
That's right. The money didn't come through. You're out $10 million.
Shit, it's fucking payday, homie.
Mr. 50. What a surprise.
Where the fuck is my money?
I need a few days. Yeah?
10 million, guaranteed. That's the deal.
Hello and welcome to Missed Checkpoints, the video game book club podcast. Today we're starting our discussion on 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. I'm your host Marcus, and joining me today as always are the homies. First off we have Greg.
Yep.
Next we got Trevor.
What's going on?
And last but not least we have a guest. We got Tim returning from the Celeste episode. What's going on, Tim?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
So this is the second game of mine for the month of October. So I will get into it. So 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is a third-person shooter developed by Swordfish Studios and published by THQ. Swordfish Studios is a dev based in Birmingham, UK, founded in 2002. The studio is best known for its two best-selling international rugby games, World Championship Rugby. Swordfish was recognized as Developer of the Year by the Independent Games Developer Association in 2004. The following year, they released an international cricket game as well as a PS2 exclusive first-person shooter called Cold Winter. They would follow those titles with 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which was released in February of 2009 for PS3 and Xbox 360. These titles serves as the sequel to 2005's 1.2 million copy selling hit title, 50 Cent Bulletproof. Blood on the Sand revolves around rapper 50 Cent and his G-Unit crew consisting of DJ Woo Kid, Lloyd Banks, and Tony Yayo. The game is set in an urban war zone in an unnamed Middle Eastern country where the crew has been hired to perform a rap concert. After the concert, the promoter is unable to pay them the $10 million in cash he promised, but after being threatened, he gives them a diamond and pearl encrusted human skull as collateral. The skull is promptly stolen by a paramilitary group led by a terrorist, and 50 Cent and the G-Unit member of your choice must get back the skull at any cost. And that is a setup right there. So the reason why I chose this game is I felt like
Hang on. Was that where did you get that description?
Which one?
Where it ends with like at any cost.
Well, I kind of embezzled a little bit.
Okay, I was just wondering like how they missed the opportunity for or die trying.
You're right. I could have. Yeah, you right. I should have wrote that. He stopped those terrorists or die trying. I chose this game because I felt like it would be a good follow up to Shut Up and Jam, the Gaiden, the game we played earlier in the month, and it's a game that I have played before and I dig it. And I wanted to see if it holds up. I mean, it's 10 years later, and I wanted to see if the homies would dig it as well. So I think this is like we've had a couple of questions where we're like, if you could have a music-based game or, like a rap game or whatever, we've had some questions like that. So I was like, yeah, well, here's one that actually happened. Let's see what we think about it. So, first off, have any of you guys played this game or the 50 Cent Bulletproof? And I'll kick it to you first, Greg.
So I never played Bulletproof, but I am aware of the gem that game is, and I played Blood on the Sand. Whenever that originally came out, I think I had rented it and just played it over a weekend. But yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Trevor?
Yeah, I played Bulletproof back in the PlayStation 2 era. I don't remember too much about it, though. Besides, like, the takedowns, and I think it had, like, the slow motion, the same skill, same slow motion skill in it. But that's about it. I don't remember the story at all.
Do you remember that it sold 1.2 million copies?
Hey, I guess one of those was me.
What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I've definitely played Bulletproof. I remember Lloyd Banks was like, "Yo, get them up," and I remember all the takedowns and stuff. I remember the terrible inverted controls of like trying to like aim in that game, and I was definitely one of those 1.2 millions who bought it.
Okay. So Greg, so I'm the only one that's played Blood and Sand besides Greg, Trevor.
So I never played Blood on the Sand. This was my first time playing it.
Trevor?
Yeah, same year.
Okay, cool. This is what I was hoping for. I guess the other thing I wanted to say, so Swordfish Studios is no longer. This was their last game. So they did
what a coincidence.
They did I should say the next year they did a mobile game called Get Aheads with it's GEDDA and then heads with a Z. So I guess they were leading into that hip hop, that audience that they just grew with this game. But they ended up getting acquired by Codemasters, and then the studio shut down in 2010. So many of the former Swordfish Studio employees have been hired by Crytek UK. So they still got jobs, theoretically, But yeah. So let's get into this game, man.
Another question before we get into it. Are any of y'all G-Unit fans, or were you ever?
Oh yeah, good question.
Oh yeah, man, I love the first G-Unit album.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't say like I'm crazy about G-Unit and 50 Cent, but I mean they got some joints.
I only really mess with. I think I had, what was the 50 Cent mixtape? What was that?
I mean, they're like a million of them.
The one that like the one that got him going. The one that he had like 2 songs off of, like.
I almost want to say like Loose Quarters or something like that. That might not be right though.
Guess Who's 50 or
yes, Guess Who's 50.
Yeah, so I had that mixtape. Let me make sure
If it was mixed by DJ Wu Kid.
It was.
The worst drops from any DJ.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But yeah, like I was never like a really huge 50 Cent fan, and I was gonna say like, I Guess Who's Back and 50 Cent Is the Future are the 2 mixtapes I was thinking of. But I thought Get Rich or Die Trying. That album was obviously good, but then when he had I think it was Massacre, when Massacre was coming out the same time as Late Registration. And then they had that competition.
Right, yep.
I was like 100% Team Kanye at that point, and my friend was
talking about you're talking about Graduation and
no, it was late. I thought it was Late Registration.
No. It was like Graduation and what was that album?
Curtis.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it was Curtis and Graduation, and that's when I became 100% like Team Kanye, and I didn't mess with 50 Cent, and my friend was really into 50 Cent at that time, so I still listened to his music, but I was like, I'm not giving him no money. But and then I guess what I know some of you guys are fans of, like I liked Young Buck. I think he was my favorite G Unit member.
Huh?
Yeah.
How?
Buck the world, man.
I mean, like,
there was
had a few songs, but like, I wouldn't say.
You didn't like the game when he was there for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I mean, well, I didn't get into the game until after he was out of G Unit. So
fair enough.
Yeah, the game obviously, if he's included, then yeah, he's my favorite member. But I didn't like.
He got a lot better after he left G Unit.
He didn't have that Dr. Dre cosign no more though, and he kept rapping about it, name dropping him.
I don't know. Documentary 2 is my album.
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. LAX was not good though. And Trevor, you're a Lloyd Banks fan, right?
I was a Lloyd Banks fan.
Why you say it like that?
I don't know. I was into 50 Cent, and that's how I got into G Unit. But I think I only liked Lloyd Banks because, I don't know, because I was just listening to G Unit. I don't know why Lloyd Banks stood out. It may have been like one song he had or something like that. But I never really cared for any of his solo stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I think I had his solo, his
The
first
Hunger
album.
for More?
Yeah.
On Fire and I'm So Fly? Ooh.
But I don't know. I think after 300 bars and running, I kind of left G Unit behind.
Fair enough. And
So riding with game.
Hey man, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think was Olivia in G Unit too?
Yep.
Well, she wasn't in G Unit, but she was on the record label, I guess. But I don't even think she actually got an album out before she got kicked off.
I just remember that one song, Twisted.
I think Gang destroyed her career and started.
No, she had an album, but I think it was before G Unit.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Anything else that we need to touch on before we hop into this? All right. So, how do you guys feel about Gears of War?
It's a pretty good game.
It's a pretty good game. What if I told you could play a Gears of War clone, but with rap music? And no chainsaw gun.
Is it like the same? Did they use the same engine in this game?
It's an Unreal Engine game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as they hit like some of the, the slow walking while they were talking on the headset. I was like, wait a minute, is this Gears? I didn't know if any other games did that.
Yeah.
So, so this is a Gears of War clone. It has it's a cover based third person shooter. It has some on foot combat, hand to hand combat, like if you would like to use it. There's some vehicle sequences. You're playing with a co-op buddy, so you get to choose which member of G Unit you want to have as your teammate. Who did everybody choose?
I'll just pick Lloyd Banks. I should have picked Who Kid. That probably would have been funnier.
Who'd you pick, Trevor?
Lloyd Banks.
Who'd you pick, Tim?
Lloyd Banks.
Damn, I picked Who Kid. I assumed that somebody would have picked Tony Yayo.
Nah, the first time I played, I picked Yayo, but
the bucket hat, man.
Oh man.
So like the thing I didn't know until I looked at the Wikipedia that each of the members have a different combat technique that they specialize in, which I had no idea. So I have no idea like if you guys notice like why is this dude only using this gun or whatever. I didn't notice with Who Kid.
I mean, the AI is like so bad. I didn't expect them to do much of anything.
Yeah. Like I was wondering, like on a scale of like, I can't think of a game that has really good, like amazing AI, but like on the flip side, like I've always heard Sheva from Resident Evil 5 is like the worst AI.
What about Half-Life? Half-Life, what was it, Episode 2?
Oh, with Alex?
Yeah, wasn't
I
she
don't
pretty
remember.
good?
Yeah, she was good. Yeah, so from on a scale of Alex to Sheva, who we leaning more towards?
This is definitely closer to Sheva.
Agreed. What else? So the game also has these payphones throughout the levels that you can activate to like upgrade your weapons and learn new hand-to-hand combat techniques and unlock taunts, which is like really like the chef's kiss of this game.
Kiss his fingertips.
And Can one of you guys explain the taunts?
I mean, I don't really know a nice way to say it. I mean, it's basically you can unlock taunts that when you click in the left thumbstick, he'll just kind of spout out in the middle of battle.
Oh, that's how you use them?
You didn't know that?
No.
I mean, that was the first thing I was spending money on. I was like, well, fuck it. Let me do this just so I can hear what the stupid stuff he's gonna say.
Oh my god! I gotta go back and do it.
Yeah, you do, because they're golden.
I had never used them the whole time. I bought all of them like halfway through the game. Like I bought.
Oh my god!
I bought just about everything in the game besides like 2 weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what do they do, Greg?
He spouts out some quips, I guess. You know?
Yeah, but like, don't they like aggro the enemies?
I have no idea. I didn't even know. I was just doing it.
I think like the higher level taunts aggro the enemies to you, and you get like bonus points when you kill them. Because this is like on top of it being like a Gears of War kind of clone. It also is like an arcade kind of shooter, so you're racking up score based off of like a combo. So like you can get like a single kill gets you like 1,000 points, and if you get a double kill, then it's multiplied. You get a triple kill, it's multiplied, and each time you get a kill, there's a bar going down at the top that you need to like kill somebody else in order to keep refilling it. And the more people you kill, the more people you kill in succession, the quicker that bar goes down, and so it just racks up like a multiplier that you're trying to score a ton of points on, because at the end of each section or of a chapter, you get like a grade, basically gold, silver, or bronze, kind of like a not necessarily like a Ninja Gaiden or DMC, but kind of sort of like that, right?
So there's a game that I think they stole that idea from. That was, well, I wouldn't say they stole it from, but it's. Has anybody played The Club? It was a game that was like on 360 and PS3.
I've heard of it. I never played it.
It kind of has a similar idea, except like they kind of lean into it as more of like a game show type thing. But it's the same principles. Like you're running through areas and like killing enemies, and you're trying to stack up these combos, but they give you like more enemies, and it's like a little bit more gamey in that, but it's kind of like that same principle.
Okay. And then you're also you have like 4 basic weapon archetypes. So I guess it's like a pistol, and they're mapped to your D-pad. So you have a pistol, you have like a special weapon, which could be like a RPG or a sniper. Then you have a close quarter combat weapon, which is either like a submachine gun or a shotgun. Then you have some type of rifle, like assault rifle. And they each take different boxes of ammo. So like you have to manage that, I guess you could say. There's a lot of ammo everywhere. And then the other cool thing that the game has is, I guess, pseudo challenges. So when you get to a section, it will have a challenge like rack up $10,000 or kill the 2 grenadiers, or kill the 3 heavy weapons people, or clear the reinforcements out, or something like that. And if you complete the challenge, then your gun gets some type of bonus on it. So like I was playing I had already played this game before, so I just started a new game, but I had all the save data, so I had like all the stuff I had purchased previously. So like for me, my pistol, when I completed a challenge, the ammo it got was like one that either tagged somebody, pretty similarly to the crossbow, the torque bow in Gears, where you would shoot somebody, they'd have a glowing thing on them, and then it would explode and kill them. And then the other one was a shot that when you shot them, they immediately burst into flames and kind of like disintegrated. Did you guys have like similar things? I didn't know if the early game pistols had the same kind of upgrade.
Yeah, they got like incendiary rounds. So
yeah.
I know when I used to double pistols.
Gotcha. And yeah, I think that's it for like the gameplay for the most part. Did you guys? I mean, how was it for you guys? Like coming back to it, Greg. Like, did you enjoy it?
I definitely didn't. But
All right, next. I forgot the other thing too. You also had when you're racking up a lot of kills and like your multiplier, you're also building a bar, which very similarly to bullet. It's basically a bullet time, but they call it gangsta fire in this game because why not? And it basically
oh, that's what it's really called.
it's called gangsta fire. And you can basically slow down time and, just take out enemies. It's kind of like what we did in Vanquished. I don't know. I dig the gameplay of this. I mean, that's what you're here for, in my opinion, is the gameplay. How about you, Tim? What do you think about it?
I'm gonna be honest. It was trash. I can't, as a person who played Gears religiously, I get it, right? But boy, the dodge rolling mechanic was just it was just more trouble than it needed to be. The cover system was just huh? I
You were
can't.
stuck.
Yeah, there were times where I'm all right, I'm on a middle pillar, and I'm trying to. I can aim left. I can go left. For some reason, it won't let me go right and aim. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Why I can't do that? For some time, there are times where I'm okay, I can jump off this ledge without a command, but I can't jump off this one. They're the same height down. So there was just a lot of just little just things like that. I'm just it was aggravating to play. And I'm just,
it's a Gears clone with no run button or anything like that, or it just. I mean, granted, I get it that the environments aren't big. You know what I mean? They're not sometimes they may not need something like that, but his walk speed also kind of doesn't help the fact that it's he just kind of moves through environments so slow,
yeah. You just spend most of your time just dodge rolling, just because you're trying to move through it quicker than gameplay wise, yeah, it was just extremely aggravating there, and trying to deal with that.
Okay, Trevor, bring it home.
Guys, I'm flabbergasted.
Thank you.
This game is fun. Honestly,
Yes.
What?
I would not pay for this game.
I did.
This should be a free game right now, but this game is fun.
Thank you. This game is fun.
See, can I say one thing though? Can I say one thing? All right. So when I originally played this game, I definitely enjoyed it. I thought, man, this is stupid fun. It's I get it. I was kind of there for it, but I guess it was because at that time I had no expectation of this ever being a thing that was going to work out, right? And and maybe it could just be that it didn't age well, in that a lot of the mechanics have just been done better everywhere else, and you come to it now and you expect a certain level of gameplay and polish, and it's just this game doesn't have it. So maybe that might be my issue with it.
I see what's happening here. So y'all remember when we played Brothers? And everybody had played it before, and so it kind of took away the surprise element of the charm and the story. I think that's what's happening.
I mean, Trevor, the thing is that Tim hasn't played it before, and he's on the opposite side of you, and I have played it before, and I enjoy it still. So,
I played Bulletproof. So I will say this: it's a good game compared to Bulletproof.
Yeah.
Besides it's missing Dre and Eminem, it's a good game. It's fun, I guess. But it's definitely aggravating, on the control, just the control scheme of things. It was just man, I was why do I keep dying here? I know what I'm doing, but yeah, no.
I had a few issues with this game, but because this game, what difficulty did y'all play on?
I played on normal.
Yeah, I played on normal. Yeah, I put on normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted to replay it, even though I don't know.
All right.
I don't have time to replay it, but if I did, I would increase the difficulty because I felt like I was just kind of running through this game.
Okay. All right. So one of my favorite aspects of this game we didn't even get into because it's so this game is a co-op game, and this game is a banger of a co-op game because then you don't have to rely on having a really crappy AI. But the worst thing about this is you can only play co-op online. You can't play split screen or over like LAN. You had to have like an Xbox Live or PlayStation online, whatever. What is it? PSN, PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
So this game, the first time I played it, I think I played it with Dante actually, and me and him played this, and it was super fun. And much like what Trevor said, and what Greg has mentioned too, when you go into this game with no expectations, you're like, yo, I'm gonna play this like super silly, like probably over the top 50 Cent game. And then you like actually are playing it and you're just kind of like, huh, this is actually pretty competent. Like, yes, like there are some rough edges, like Tim said, with like the game, like the characters moving slow, not having some type of roadie run. And I couldn't articulate this, so I'm glad Tim was able to mention it because I'm not a really big Gears of War fan. I played the first two, but I didn't realize this was a thing. But I did experience this playing Blood on the Sand, but when you get behind cover, like you're just stuck there, and like you can't like straddle and like walk along the cover. Like where you grip the wall is where you're gonna be. So when you look behind cover, if 50 Cent looks to the left behind a pillar that he's standing behind, the only way to look to the right is to like get from behind the cover and literally look around the other side. And the same thing when you're behind like a low wall, you can't just walk from one edge to the other. You just have to get from behind cover. And that is really, really sloppy and just like poorly handled. But I think you guys are crazy if you're telling me that the pace of the game, and maybe it's because we played easy, but like just the racking up the combos, being able, like one of the things I think this game does that's really smart is when you're racking up a combo, especially when you're in Gangsta Fire and you run out of ammo with your assault rifle, instead of toggling you to start reloading, it switches guns for you so you can keep your combo going. So like the game does that for you, and I really appreciated that little touch that it added because like, yes, I want to keep my combo going. Thank you for switching my gun for me because I still want to kill these dudes. And then I really like the taunts, even though they're as corny as it is. Tim didn't get to experience it, but just being able to yell out like super profane things and just being able to like aggravate the enemies was really funny to me. And like it was just super over the top. And like we haven't gotten to the story yet, but like the whole like aesthetic of this game is like, imagine if Michael Bay made a video game. And that's how when I play this game, I'm thinking like, yo, like Michael Bay is on something, like he's on one on this game because like the story is super nonsensical and like totally out of like something that he would do. And then the gameplay perfectly fits that as well. And I think it's like a cohesive package, honestly. So I'm assuming if you guys don't like the gameplay, then like the story you're not here for either. You guys are too self-serious.
So we didn't touch on one thing. We didn't touch on the finishers.
Okay.
So there was one finisher where he just like he was like, I guess doing a suplex, like a poorly like a poorly made suplex.
Just continue. So I want to touch on the end of the finisher.
And so, so there's one finisher where he punches you in his genitals, then he punches him in the gut. I'm not playing with you, dog. And Jesus Christ, he's coming up with the squeaky toy. My bad. And he stabs you in the heart.
Yes, the best finisher.
And then there's another one where it's like, I guess it's like a Wu-Tang reference, where he like, oh my god, he like stabs you in the side as well, like the 50 chamber or something. I can't remember, but like
there's quite a few that are named after like Wu-Tang references.
Yeah, and I felt they all looked the same.
I mean, they kind of do, but the best part is like after you finish one of those, the camera just deadpans and he just has this like blank stare on his face.
Oh yeah,
Like you're not
It's
in
done.
the middle of combat.
It's the best thing.
oh man, oh god, yeah, that was definitely good. I think his face the whole time is just blank stare.
Yeah, I don't think his facial expression changes in the game at all, but it's pretty good.
But yeah, the finishers were definitely interesting. I'll say the least. There was also times where I did a finisher, and so instead of it being like where you're at, it would just take me to this little white world or whatever.
Yeah, that happened to me one time.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time for some reason. and like you do the finisher there, I was like, I'd rather have it do that than like do it while we're on a battlefield like that, because it made it seem more interesting, at least to say. But yeah.
Or we're taking it to the lab.
Right. Right. I didn't do too many of the finishers. Like they're not as satisfying as something like in Gears. Like there's nothing to me as satisfying as chainsawing somebody, and that will always be like something that I just like. I'll never be able to recapture unless I play Gears. And like you guys said, like it is kind of just like the deadpan after you finish, and then you're like. You can hear the shots you getting shot at,
Right?
and
you're just out in the open.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, one benefit to it is makes you invulnerable. Like while
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
it, and then at the same time, it's like a instant kill kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like towards the end, whenever I was like surrounded by a bunch of enemies, or whenever they spawned out of doors, like surrounding me, I would pretty much just use that on all the enemies around me. Like, I wouldn't even use any weapons at that point.
Okay. Is there any other... I don't know. I really like the gameplay in this. Like, I understand that it is not exactly... Like, it's clones and taking bits from other games. But I had fun playing it. I had a lot of fun playing it. And it was one of the things that I was like, oh, like, kind of how when we had played, I was worried coming into this game, kind of like when we played, what is the game? Brutal Legend, where I, like, remember playing that game in the moment, thinking of it fondly and talking highly of it, or, like, that's a game I like. And then revisiting it for this show, and I didn't like it, and I was like, yo, what was I on? But like this was on the exact opposite, where I was like, I remember really liking this game, and I will admit, like, this game is very silly and over the top, but I still like it, and I still think it plays pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It
feels like a game from back then.
It don't hit the same no more. Like it don't.
All right, can we talk about the music?
Oh God.
Yeah, let's talk about the music. What about it?
All right. So Swizz Beatz was the composer for the game.
Composer.
Yeah, he was the composer.
My man clicked right click, copied this, and dragged them over.
So
that's what he did.
Instead of just putting music from like every member's like G Unit or just even G Unit songs, he was just like, you know what, we're just gonna do 50s. And you killing someone to in the club definitely got annoying after a while.
So I played around with the playlist, and you can actually add songs to it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So I added like amusement park. As time went on, when you complete the game, you unlock more music. So I was adding songs like amusement park and Wanksta, PIMP.
The question I have is there any music in this game that is not 50 cents?
It's all off.
Like, is there original music in this game at all?
So
well,
It's not
there-
original.
no,
yeah.
Well, you get what I mean. Like, that's not like, you know, music that was made for.
So on the Wikipedia, it says it features more music tracks in the first game. There's 40 plus tracks in all, and 50 Cent made 18 exclusive tracks for the game. So,
Well, I guess what I'm looking for is, because this is like one of my huge gripes with the game. It's just kind of like, because the music is literally all one tone for the most part. Like, there's no off switch to anything. Like, there's no highs and lows to combat. It's literally just like 50 Cent music just blaring at you the entire time.
so you're
And
saying
it's
it's all the way up?
What more do you want from 50?
I mean, it just got too much. Like, I think an hour, like, I literally had a headache after playing the game for like 4 hours the other day. I was like, yo, I gotta cut this off. I can't do it no more.
Oh my God, what am I hearing?
It was
Okay,
just,
like I will agree with you that there is definitely one tone, and like a lot of times, like I did kind of drown out the songs. But anytime, what was the song? Anytime, and like I don't remember liking this song when it came out. But I Get Money is a banger. Like, anytime that song came on, I was like turning up my TV.
Okay, so they did have Back Down on there. I was kind of appreciative of that because it's definitely a classic off of Get Rich or Die Trying. But I Get Money, I'm not trying to hear that every time I go into a fight.
like, it just doesn't go, like, none of the music goes with, like, the action going on. Like, it's just
The only thing I'll say is I was very surprised they kept like some of the ad libs in, like Back Down. Like, they left the whole Ja Rule diss in there. Where he's talking at the end of it. That part kind of went a little too far. Like, I wish they would have just faded it out and went to the next song.
Hey, man, it was 2009. They let everything.
I can't believe you. Like Dante said, like y'all went into a 50 Cent game and said there's too much 50 Cent in it.
Like, I'm just saying, like, the thing is, right, if it would have just been like, all right, well, in this gunfight, you just got, you know, like, nondescript action, like, movie music in the background, and then when you get to this point, then the 50 Cent song kicks on or whatever, right? But it was just like, literally just 50 Cent song after 50 Cent song after 50 Cent song.
I will be honest with y'all. Around the time G Unit was hot, whenever I played games, especially like racing games or anything like that, I would play music in the background, and sometimes I would play G Unit.
In a gun match.
This literally reminded me of that time. Maybe that's why I like this game so much.
Look here, I mean that's cool and all, but like there are other members of G Unit besides 50 Cent. That's all I'm saying. Like, you could have threw in some Lloyd Banks. You could have threw in.
You want to listen to some Tony Yayo? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Hey, I'll listen to some Tony Yayo. All right, he's trash, but I'll definitely listen to him in
The
this
song
game.
isn't called Yayo Blood in the Sand.
Thank you.
But he's a sidekick. See, and that's G Unit's history right there, ladies and gentlemen. It was 50 or nobody else. But
Man,
yeah,
I can't believe, like, okay, like I said, I understand the one note thing, but so there was nothing on this playlist at all that you were like,
Oh, I mean, there's songs that I like.
I hadn't heard this song in forever. Let me listen to it. Nothing like that.
I mean, there's songs where I was like, oh, okay, it was cool to hear that again. But it was like, bruh, after hearing this so many times, like, I'm going crazy right now. Like,
Did you end up adding anything to your playlist, or did you mess with it?
Nah, I didn't. I was to the point where I was about to turn the music off. Like, that's how I felt it.
Oh, my God.
Like, it was just too much. There was just too much going on. Like, and I don't know. Like, it's so weird because, like I said, at the time when I played this game, I thought it was like hilarious. I was like, yo, this is actually pretty cool. But just coming back to it now, man, I don't know what it is.
yeah.
I'm disappointed, man.
I'm
This
not trying
song,
to-
every time it came, every time, I was like, yo. And I don't, like I said, I'm not a 50 Cent fan, but I was feeling it in this game. I was feeling
They
it.
could have put like Window Shopper in there, you know.
They had like,
I mean, even
Piggy
that doesn't
Bank.
even
They had Piggy Bank.
Think about Window Shopper and trying to like have a shootout to that. Like, come on.
Hey,
Did they had Disco Inferno in it, didn't they?
oh, yeah, like who?
Even that's weird. Like, come on.
Okay, that's definitely a BET uncut classic, but like you know,
I'm trying to dodge a rocket launcher. Like,
Just go with her. No.
Like, come on. Like, come on.
oh my god.
Hey, but dodging a rocket to I Get Money though. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you got a point.
I think that was like the most played song for some reason. It was on
Which
Shuffle.
one?
I Get Money, and it was like
As it should have been. Like, I mean, you probably didn't unlock all the songs.
Oh, I did.
I did. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, after a while,
I mean, it was the first song that played. Okay, there was two things. It was the first song that played when you started the game. At least for me, I'm pretty sure it was the first song when the menu started up. The other thing I was going to say, which I thought was really cool, is this is me nerding out again. This is me going into the lab. If you back out of the game when the music is playing, or whatever song, it picks back up at the menu from where you're at, which I thought was kind of cool. So like I didn't have to start the song over or listen to something different. I could just keep it rocking. But I guess some of us didn't appreciate that.
So you're saying if you bought this game back then, you could literally just leave the game playing on the menu.
Basically,
while
y'all gonna sit here and try to say that y'all didn't just play music off your PlayStation in the background?
It depends on the type of game. Like, I wasn't like if I was playing Gears, it definitely wasn't.
I'm
like,
not even
listening to
talking
music.
about when you were playing a game. I'm talking about when you weren't playing a game and you were just in your room.
Oh, I mean, I might have some stuff on the background, not on my Xbox, but you know what I mean. I'll have music just playing.
And that's kind of what this like. You ain't doing your homework you doing your homework to 50 Cent. You cleaning your room to 50 Cent. You might as well be playing the game to 50 Cent. I'm just saying. Okay. Do we have any other complaints or any other hate on the music in this game? Can we get into the story and how ridiculous the story is?
Go for it.
yeah.
So I guess I kind of did the whole setup. So like they're in some random Middle Eastern country for a rap concert. The promoter, I think his name was Anwar. He couldn't pay them $10 million. So like these dudes, grab the strap, and just and like threaten dude. And he's like, well, I don't got money, but I can give you this. And I think the whole deal with the skull was like some emperor's like most beautiful wife, and he loved her so much he encrusted her skull with diamonds and pearls. And anyways, gives it to him. It gets stolen like right away by some. I think her name is Layla, but like, and then from then on, it's just like a story of 50 Cent just trying to get his skull back. And like you end up meeting and like you're talking with Anwar, and he's like, yo, go meet my man's at this strip club in the Middle East, which is what? Like so like 50 Cent and his crew meet some guy at the strip club that gives them a tip about it's probably, I think the guy's name was Kamal. Mm-hmm. Is the leader of, he's the terrorist and leader of the group, the paramilitary group. And so enemies are the ones you're fighting. And so like Anwar is trying to tell you over in like, the headset, like how to get to him. Then you get intercepted by these guys from this mercenary leader from the U.S. Called Trident. And so you get to meet this team of American, like, mercenaries that are in the country, and they're helping you out, quote unquote, because they're trying to take down Kamal too. And they end up betraying you. Like, this game is like just a game of a lot of betrayals and just like backstabs and stuff like that. So you have to take that dude out, and then like, I don't know, there's another like super wealthy dude, American guy named Wilder, who ends up, he's just in it for the money. So he's working with Kamal, and he ends up get an Anwar to betray you because he pays Anwar and Anwar needs the money. So Anwar betrays you, and then you get to team up with the girl that stole the skull initially because she's on the outs with Kamal. And then you kill Wilder, and then you're going after Kamal. You kill Kamal, and then it's like you, Wilder, and Layla. She steals the skull from Wilder when Wilder has you on the roof, and then you kill Wilder. Then you're chasing down Layla, and at the end, you like. This is another thing that they ate from, but that last mission is a vehicle mission, pretty similarly to like the Halo missions, when you're just driving out of like usually the last mission in that, at least the original trilogy Halo games, it's like you driving out of something going on, like some explosion or whatever, and you have to race to the end. And that's the same thing with this game where you're racing like a Humvee or something and getting shot at by people, and your car's running out of gas and all this stuff, and then you end up catching up to her and taking her out and getting the skull back. And then there's a happy ending with you and the G-Unit crew riding off in a Humvee with the skull in the dashboard with a lit cigar in its mouth. Iconic.
I don't remember seeing it. I remember going straight. Like, I thought as soon as I completed that mission, it went straight to the end. Straight to the
credits. You didn't see the last cutscene?
No, like, was there a cutscene after the credits?
Yeah, no, it was before the credits.
Like before, right before the credits.
Yeah, no, it went straight to credits. I was like...
You might have been mashing too hard.
Probably, because I was like, get me out of here. Yeah, I probably just missed that. But, yeah. Oh, dang. I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's like, I think there's one decision, quote unquote decision you make in this game. Yeah, I think it's like a decision at one point where Layla's like surrounded by a bunch of terrorists, and you can opt to like go the loud way to like alert them of what her whereabouts in order to get to her quicker, or you go the stealthy or like the quieter way, which doesn't alert them, and that's really it. But I don't really think anything matters. Like, I don't think that like matters at all, you know? I think that's the only time you have like a decision like that. I think really the only thing I would complain about story-wise, and this maybe also goes back to gameplay, is all the boss fights are essentially just like you having to take down a rocket, or excuse me, take down a helicopter with a rocket launcher. And that was like, I hated those missions where you had to like fight some dude in a helicopter.
Oh god, yeah.
Because you're just shooting rockets on a rooftop with the clock going down, and if you didn't defeat the helicopter before the time went down, then you had to start over. And so those were always frustrating because they were really active helicopters, and it was hard to hit them with your shitty RPG.
It didn't take you back to Bionic Commando?
Nah, Bionic Commando's godlike.
At least that game had lock on, though. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly, it had lock on.
Come on now, they didn't have the technology.
All right, well, you know, it's a better game, slightly. You got anything? Story? Anything?
I honestly didn't even pay attention to the story. As soon as it started, and 50 Cent was at a concert, and they were like, "Oh, you got to go on this mission that's going to be like the rundown." I was just like, "Oh, the story doesn't matter."
I definitely wish there was Eminem and Dre in this, kind of like in Bulletproof. Yeah, the story was just essentially.
Don't get me wrong, I like the rundown. It's a good movie.
It's solid. It's solid, yeah.
I can't believe you guys. I cannot believe you guys.
How about you go back? How about you go back and play Bulletproof, and then you come back and you play this story again?
Dude, like this game, it's a Michael Bay. It's a Michael Bay game.
So this,
you guys got no love for Michael Bay? Are y'all too good for Michael Bay?
Oh, I mean, well, I do hate Michael Bay, but I do enjoy some of his movies. But
what you hate about Michael Bay? Because maybe this is coming out in this game.
I mean, he definitely messed up Transformers, but you know.
But I mean, beyond Transformers, he came out with The Island, which is a godlike movie. He came.
Oh, he made Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. The Pain and Gain, the best rock movie. The best rock movie.
I like how you had to repeat that twice.
I know. You guys have ever seen it?
Oh, I've seen it.
It's so good. It's so good. Let's see what else Michael Bay's put out. Because, like, yeah, it's nonsensical, but you know what you're getting. You're getting an over-top movie.
Okay, I think he did The Rock, right?
He did The Rock.
Yeah, and that's an amazing.
Yeah,
movie.
it's a great movie.
But you know, but
I want to say he did like the Pirates, like one of the Pirates movies.
he also did The Island, which is a terrible movie. But
No, The Island's good.
All right,
He
I'll
did
see you guys later.
Armageddon. He did Armageddon. And yeah, Transformers.
Armageddon was bad.
Armageddon's definitely overrated.
And he did Pearl Harbor, which I haven't seen.
I like.
That's also bad.
Oh, you like Pearl Harbor?
That's bad.
Well, anyways, like I said, Pain and Gain, godlike. The Island, really good.
50 Cent, Blood on the Sand.
50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, iconic.
That's one word for it.
And I just want you guys to know, you guys are on the wrong side of history. It's all good. It's all good. Like, this game, for the most part, it got a lot of mixed reviews. But people said IGN praised it for its solid gunplay and strong co-op, though they did note that it's repetitive in nature.
Hold on. Actually, let's go back to the gameplay for a second. Okay, so the guns and the weapons in the game, besides like the rocket launchers and snipers, they're all trash. All right.
Yeah.
I literally spent and Greg watched this on stream. I literally spent like a whole LMG clip on an enemy, and he didn't die until I got to like the second clip of it.
You kept missing.
No,
obviously.
No, it actually hit him.
I think all the guns in this game don't feel good. Like, none of them feel great. Like, you feel like you never... Nah, I take that back. There is one, like, machine gun that I feel like does a bunch of damage. I forget which one it is, but outside of that, they all feel like... It feels like you got, like, a water gun. It's like you're barely hitting people, like, or it takes, like, a full clip.
So, what you're saying, these people are bullet sponges, or you're saying the guns don't do enough damage?
I mean...
Because it sounds like to me that you guys aren't working your combo meter up in order to have a gun that is always glowing, so that way you're killing people with one shot. Is that what I'm hearing? Because your boy over here was getting multi-streaks, and it was no thing to take out these enemies. So I'm just trying to figure out, I thought you guys were playing on normal like me. Maybe you guys were playing on a harder difficulty and you didn't know, but combat was simple for me.
Jesus Christ. Nope, the guns are just trash. Besides like the auto shotgun and the snipers and rocket launchers.
So did you guys never use the pistols for real?
I switched between what is it, the I forget, there are like two pistols you get at the beginning. I used that, and then I switched to I forgot what other pistol I used, but
I mean, back and forth. Just at all. The reason why I'm asking is because the pistol was the thing that whenever you did the challenge, did you guys do the challenges?
Yeah, you know, talk about the things that came up and they have like a timer and you had
to
kill. Yeah. I would do those. Yeah.
So, but did you guys not use the pistol after you do the challenge when it was like powered up?
Yeah.
And you could take out enemies with one shot then at that point.
Yeah, but sometimes there wasn't a challenge for you to do, and then you had to kill people the normal way. You know, so you wouldn't get that bonus.
Yeah, and then I ended up using the shop. Even that weapon was like, all right, well, at least it's better than like the other crap I was using to like kill it.
Yeah, the Desert Eagle is super strong for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about guns. Is it strong in real life? Who knows?
So to bring back more positive vibes on this game, one of the things I enjoyed was, I think Marcus mentioned earlier that when you ran out of ammo with one weapon, it cycles to the next one automatically. But this game was really good about having the right weapon for different situations. And I really wasn't expecting that.
What do you mean?
So the weapons had either range or
Close combat,
fire rate, splash damage, like the your heavy weapons, and just looking at this game, I wasn't expecting it to be as complex. I was expecting any weapon you choose to do whatever damage you needed it to. But
so you're saying that you had to go in with some thought in like what you were going to use against the enemies.
Not necessarily as far as like switching between each one, like the different types of pistols or different types of heavy weapons, but like whenever you were in close combat, you could use your I don't know, what was it, like an SMG, and then like if you had like a ranged enemy, you could switch to your I don't know if you had a sniper rifle, or you could use your whatever weapon was mapped to your right D-pad button.
That was your assault rifle.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know a lot of games already do that, and it's not necessarily something that's rare, but I wasn't expecting it from this game, which made it a little bit more enjoyable. Simply because it wasn't holding me back from the fun.
And there was a whole lot of fun, right?
Exactly. Between the dialogue and the... I don't know, just...
Thank you for your honesty.
I guess nobody else felt that way.
I enjoyed it, dude.
The dialogue was good. Like from
that's the best part, was just like using the taunts. Like that, like for the first hour, I thought it was hilarious. And then after that, I was like, all right, I'm done with this. Like, I'm good on using these.
So I wrote down some of the quotes, and like one of the things that kept coming up was like the trust no one. But like one of the things that DJ, I don't know if this was anytime you, like, no matter who you had, they said this, or if it was character specific, but DJ Who Kid, when we got to the construction site, he was like, I don't think this is OSHA approved. And that just like cracked me up. And then there was a point where the I think it was Derek Carter, the guy, the head guy of Trident, the mercenary leader, they had like blown up a armored truck that was going down the highway on this bridge, and then they like overturned it, and then they, his goons went in and said like, yo, we're gonna split this 50-50. And I think he was saying something slick to 50 Cent. He was like, yeah, man, like, back in the olden days you had to go to the bank, but now with technology and hardware, the bank comes to you. And then 50 Cent says, I do all my banking online.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then when you're fighting Carter, like, this is a black guy, and you're fighting him, and he's like, you're gonna get yourself hurt. Frankly, I don't care, but my nephew is a fan.
I remember that.
And then there was another part when I think 50 Cent was like calls like an airstrike or something to shoot down a wall in this fortress, and he says like you clear all the enemies out, and then you radio in your location so whoever can send like some type of airplane to shoot some missiles to broken open the wall. And then he said, usually when 50 comes, doors... he says, usually doors open when 50 comes knocking, or something stupid like that. And I don't know, like, I really dig, like, again, this is another thing, like, the Michael Bay-isms of, like, these, like, super corny lines deliveries. And, like, one of my favorite parts, and this is something that Jeff Gerstmann said of Giant Bomb, where he said, like, the story was mostly nonsense with a lot of half-assed dialogue that's usually delivered by people who sound like they have a plane to catch. And that is so, like, the flatness in the delivery of the lines is part of like the appeal, and is part of the aesthetic of this game. And I don't think they purposely went for it. I just kind of felt like 50 Cent and like the G Unit guys were just trying to cash a paycheck, earn a quick buck. So like they probably didn't care how the stuff sounded. They were probably just reading some lines off a sheet, and then that was it. But like the fact that they read him the way they did and it showed up in the game the way it did, I really enjoy. It sounds bad, but it's still like great. Wow.
No.
Wow.
There's some stuff like when you're like fighting or whatever. There's like 50 cents, like clearly he knows what he's saying or some
Yeah.
Or during one of the cutscenes when Layla, I think her name was, or whatever, she kissed
Yeah.
him, and he's like, "Yo, this bitch is crazy."
Yep.
And by the way, he's just calling her that, like, nonchalantly.
Into her face.
Nonchalantly the whole game.
There was one other thing story-wise that I had to say, but I can't remember now off the top of my head. Oh, the one thing I didn't like, it didn't age so well, story-wise, was like how many times they referred to it as a shithole country, or like this like just the way they were talking about, like they were not in a named place, but it was just kind of like this was definitely the came out in a time when it was just generic military shooters set in the Middle East because that's the conflict that's going on at the time or whatever. And so like the amount of times where they're just like in a place and just saying like, oh, this place is a shithole or whatever, was just kind of like especially like now hearing that stuff, it's just kind of like but other than that, like I don't know. And Dante told me about something and I forgot. He said, if you don't mention the ramp, I swear to God.
Oh, you're talking about the first.
First
driving.
When you like drive over it and the explosions happen.
Yeah.
It's the only ramp in the whole game. The only cutscene where it's like, huh? I think he finished the mission off of that, if I recall.
I think that's the last thing you did.
It's like the ramp is like it's not literally this, but it's like the equivalent of like I think his teammate says like, oh yeah, yo 50 hit that big ass ramp.
And it looks like a normal ass like skateboard ramp.
It's like a trash can with a 2x4 over it. Like
I'm just like, what?
Oh man, I don't know. I see you guys don't have the passion for this game that I have. It's all good though. It's all good. Do we have anything else? Is there anything else we're forgetting? We talked about the gameplay, talked about the story, talked about the music.
I totally forgot that I'll Still Will Kill is in the game. The song with like him and Akon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a good song to kill people.
He had a song with Eminem on there too, and I feel like there was like there was a guy on there that sounded like David Banner, but I don't think it was David Banner because I don't think they've ever put a song out together. But I don't know who it was, and I can't find a complete soundtrack of this game. Like everything I see doesn't have certain songs that I know are in the game. But yeah, that song with Akon was really good. I Get Money still is the hottest of the hot bangers.
Sure.
And Piggy Bank. Clickety clank, clickety.
Oh yeah. Okay, so for all of us who played Lloyd Banks, right? Okay, so Lloyd Banks didn't sound like Lloyd Banks, right?
No, he sounded like Lloyd Banks to me.
Really?
Yeah, like what do you like?
He doesn't
I don't
sound
get
like
what you
when he
mean.
raps. That's the thing.
Yeah, like in Bulletproof, he sounded like he rapped. Like this was like him and
I'm pretty
him and
sure
50 sound like almost like identical at some points.
Yeah, I thought that too when I first started playing it. I was just like, man, 50 sure does have a lot of dialogue in this game. Also, this game definitely needed Young Buck.
No.
Yeah.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
This game definitely needed Young Buck.
It really didn't.
Give Young Buck some love.
That would have been no.
Yo, man, he would have said, I'm out of Tennessee.
Cashville, Tennessee.
Oh, boy. But
You changed your mind?
no, I don't change my mind. I'd definitely rather have him than like the AO.
When did he get out of G Unit?
I felt like. Hold on. Now I actually gotta look this up.
I'm looking now. He said in 2012 he was no longer in G Unit, but it had to have been. Was that it? Was that? Because I feel like it was sooner than that. Because if that's the case, then maybe this was the reason why he got out of G Unit, because he wasn't in his banger.
I'm trying to look up when 300 Bars came out to see if that had anything to do with it.
On a September 13th, 2010, in an interview with Shady 45 radio host Angela Yee, 50 Cent stated that Young Buck is still signed at G Unit Records. However, Young Buck has later confirmed that he is currently a free agent and no longer signed to G Unit.
According to
he had a lengthy battle. The feud seemed to settle down with Young Buck stating that he owed one more album for G Unit Records, which was released in 2009, then titled The Rehab.
According to Wikipedia, the only members of G Unit are 50 Cent and Tony Yayo.
Yeah, Lloyd Banks is a past member too. Oh, yeah. In June, Lloyd Banks left the group in June of 2018.
Dang. Just last year.
Who knew?
Like, were they still recording, or like what was?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It says they're still active.
Like, he might as well have just stayed. They weren't doing anything.
Dang. Tony Yayo claimed in 2014 that G Unit had officially broken up and said he and 50 Cent were no longer friends, and he also retired from music. We ain't friends no more.
50 has that effect on people. Just look at him and Floyd Mayweather.
Rip.
He is the king of petty.
All right, we got anything else? Anything we forgot?
No. I mean, I part of me wishes that I never played this again, so I could have kept the same,
keep that same energy.
Yeah, I would have had it in my memory. Like, man, this was actually a pretty good game, but now this ruined. Like I can't look at it the same way anymore.
I don't know why. So ultimately, Trevor, great game, great experience.
I'm glad I played this game.
Okay.
As a former G Unit fan, it's like not listening to an album by an artist you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, why have I not played this game?
Exactly. I'm glad someone here gets it. Tim, great game, great experience.
It was a great experience. I'll say that. Like,
so after talking about it with us, are you going to go back and play it with the taunt and check that stuff out, or?
Yeah, I have to. I have to.
Man, I really wish that I don't have Xbox Live anymore, but I think I need you guys. Somebody needs to play with Tim and play co-op, just so you guys can experience that, because that is truly the ideal way to play this game.
You're probably right, to be honest. But I wouldn't mind playing it again. If I played Bulletproof twice, I can definitely play this twice.
All right, Greg. Great game, great experience.
It's alright.
If not 50, then who?
Young Buck.
Well, any rapper. What other rapper would you want to play as?
Is that the question?
And this type of game?
Is that the question? Yo, what group or what rapper?
What rapper?
Oh man, hold on. All right, let me think about this for a second. Let me think about this.
Have you played Kanye Quest? Like,
trying to think of like a super aggressive rapper that I would want to see in something like this. Man, it's not really. Hold on. Maybe Killer Mike would be okay in something like this, right? Maybe.
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to know about that. I'm trying to picture Killer Mike wobbling around.
Killer Mike, exactly. I didn't want to say it, but LP though. That's a co-op game.
Easiest answer.
See, there you go. There you go. Run the jewels.
Hey, there you go. Oh boy, run the jewels. Give me back my skull.
The
Yo, I'm
easiest,
here for that.
the easiest answer is Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang, yeah.
Oh, hold on. You guys never played the Wu-Tang game? Oh, the PS1?
Yeah, I played it.
I never,
Yeah.
no, I never played it. But I
That
seen
was like a reskin of like some other game that they couldn't put out, so they put Wu-Tang in it. I forget the name of it.
Can I be honest? And like, I think there is one answer. It's Snoop Dogg.
Have you played True Crime Streets of LA?
No.
Oh yeah.
But do you guys remember that Snoop Dogg game that was on Game Informer? It was supposed to be like a Grand Theft Auto clone. I think it was called like
let me look this
20, 25. No, not 25 to life. I'm gonna tell you what it's called. Snoop Dogg Fear and Respect.
Yeah. Okay, I had that.
Yeah. And that was supposed to be a
magazine.
Game Informer.
Oh man.
And they got
I forgot
canceled.
about that.
Yeah, so Snoop, like, I just think, like, Snoop Dogg, like, the taunts he would have had would have been hilarious. And just, like, Snoop Dogg-isms, like, you know, there would definitely be weed-related.
Plenty of that.
As well, that maybe the collectibles. Also, did you guys do the collectibles in this game? I did.
I tried.
I didn't do them all, but I tried to get as many as I could.
If I saw one, I'd go for it, but I wasn't like actively looking for them.
Yeah, I was doing them on my way back. I think I've only got one of them.
What about Amigos Shooter?
You know what? The soundtrack would probably be pretty good. I'm not gonna. I think I'd be down for that.
Am I trying to hear Migo ad-libs through a whole game?
Yeah.
Stir fry. No, Cardi.
Cardi B's like
No,
she's like the money.
don't even
She's like
do-
the money penny of the game, and so she's all talking in her Brooklyn or Bronx accent. Jesus Christ. Actually, let's go ahead and send Amigo. Let's go ahead and like at them with this, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
go ahead.
When you guys put the game out, where can people find you at, Greg?
You guys can hit me up on Twitter at Boombox Hero. Facebook is the same, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Magnegro with a 0 at the end.
Where can people find you at, Trevor?
You can find me on the internet at Lyric Unsung.
Where can people find you at, Tim?
You can find me on Twitter at 4HTim, and you can also find me on Twitch at 4H_Tim.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Facebook at Potato Salad. And you can find us at Twitter at M_Checkpoints, Facebook Miss Checkpoints, and occasionally on Twitch. I think this is going right now, right, Trevor?
Yep.
At twitch.tv/Miss Checkpoints. If you like tuning into Miss Checkpoints to find out about hidden gems, cult classics, and indie games, and share us with your friends, family, and the not shitty subreddit communities you're in. Comment on our Facebook page, add us on Twitter, leave us a review, preferably 5 stars on Apple Podcasts so we can appear higher in the leisure category. Let us know what you like when you listen to the episodes, what you agreed with, what you disagreed with, which obviously for this episode would be anything that Tim and Greg said. And then let us know what you would like to hear us play next. Do we got anything else left for 50 Cent Blood in the Sand? I think we'll have to, because Tim didn't like this game, we might have to have him back on to do a game that he suggests. Just to make it fair, because we brought him in for
You
Celeste.
definitely slid into my DMs like, hey, do you got
I was like, hey man, I think you're gonna like this game. I was wrong.
To be fair, he did say he wanted to be on the Castlevania one because he liked that game.
Hey.
So.
Hey, well, it's a tough loss, man, because we already got somebody. Maybe though.
What?
I remember you said something about wanting to do the Guacamelee.
I have no problem coming back, but I definitely have no problem coming back for Lords of
Okay.
Shadow because I will shill extremely hard for that game.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. But we'll try to have Tim back on, and maybe we can have him choose a game or something so that way we can make sure that like if it's a game we don't like, we can shit on it in front of him, you know. Because I won't even care. I hate Dead Cells now. Next month is Trevor's month. It'll be Luca, Born of a Dream. And we should have our Way of the Pacifist, our most recent bonus cast up. And that should be our third of the year. So we have 2 more coming up. So stay tuned for those as well. But with that, we're Missed Checkpoints, and we're out. Peace.
Nigga, I got hoes, nigga. I'm the one to commit to, girl. Fuck with a pimp, come on, travel the world.
50. 50. I'm sorry, honey. Wait! I didn't mean it. We can start over.
You one crazy bitch.
What are you doing? You can't just leave me here.
Ugly bitch, isn't she? Let's go home.
Oh, bastard! Come back here! How dare you! Come and treat me like a man!
Freak bitch in Greece, 3 bitches in East.